So we're just down a ways from where the gap between those two trees is. Here's a piece of work that is not caused by anything falling on it. And see how much thinner it gets toward the top? That tells me that snow or ice load could not have exerted enough force to cause this thick part, this kind of damage. Moving on, we have just a whole collection of pine tree tops, which I've been showing in various videos. There must be 15 or 20 of these just in a 50-yard radius of down here. Here's another one over there. What is it about pine tree tops that they love to snap off and lay about? Here's a wedging. Here's a hang, a very peculiar hang. The thick part is down here, broken off at some point, and hanging by a thread way up there. And then another pine tree top, just sheared off and poked inside. So here's two pine tree tops that didn't grow here, laid in here, crossing one another. The heck? And here we have a very typical situation where a tree bend, and at about the midpoint we have a leaner. I showed you this in the micro forest over behind my mom's house, and many people find these very frequently. And no, it didn't grow here. Just leaned up at about the midpoint. Oh look, it goes on that side of this one and the near side of this one. So that's some weaving, some simple weaving up there. And right here, another collection of pine tree tops. Two right here. Another one right here. Just laid onto a big debris pile. And here's another one. Just so many. Here's a little one. This is a pine tree also. It's specifically pine trees that they do this with. Turns out I've way underestimated the number of these pine tree tops. There must be dozens just in this small area. Keep coming across them. It occurred to me that maybe it could be something as simple as they really smell good when you break them. You know how wonderful that pine scent is when you break a fresh tree. Maybe they leave it around like potpourri in their hangout areas. Or maybe they rub the pitch on themselves for some reason. Does it keep bugs away? Does it have any medicinal uses? Or just like perfume to smell better? Cover up their stink. Hanging one with no source above. And right next to it we have this X with the bark removed, or mostly removed from both. And this didn't grow here. And this doesn't seem to have grown here either. Here's an oak tree with two separate pine limbs shoved into it up here. One, and the second one. You can see pine needles down there. Pine needles. Which one of these things is not like the others? Upside down. Completely stripped and dried like driftwood. This got a chuckle out of me just now. This little crook cradles this, which is hanging, and the other end is hanging too. So this wound up, supposedly on its own, underneath here. Woven in like so. It's astonishing to me that I've never explored these woods. I've been here 16 years. That just goes to show you that even a Sasquatch researcher tends to live in denial a lot of the time. But now that I'm making this video series about what happens behind my tool shed, I've been prompted to expand the circle a little. And boy, am I glad I did. But I'm over here because I wanted to show you that another reason this is a good spot for this guy, or this small group, is that my neighbors are right next door to me, and they have horses and a donkey and a whole bunch of goats and chickens and peacocks and 2 children under the age of 13. Here's a potential spy blind that I figured I'd find up here. There's like a little hollow to sit in. I look down at the animals and the children. It's all grouped around this stump whose tree seems to be missing. A whole bunch of debris here. I remember I showed you that spy blind over behind my A-frame cabin. This is a similar sort of construction with a similar purpose. Here's an obvious trail. Leads right to the backyard. Where there's a trampoline just a few feet from the end of this trail. And there are many reports of them watching kids jumping on the trampoline and other places. Very entertaining. Maybe 400 feet away along this pathway past this A-frame cabin, there's like 50, 60, 80 pine trees all smashed down. It's like a whole sea of them. They all do go in the same direction, it looks like. And so I would suspect that this is some sort of a weather event, a microburst, except for the fact that there seems to be this little, I don't know, gateway. And a lot of trees on the far side of it in between here and the destruction that aren't destroyed. And here's one just hanging in the air on top of the tree band at this gate or blind or whatever it is. And I'm finding now that some of them aren't in the same direction. All of those over there are lying down this way. But here, lying down this way. And this one is lying down not opposite, but I'd say 100 degrees different. So unless it was a tornado that just dipped straight down and left everything outside of this 40-foot radius untouched, or a spaceship, I don't know what it could be. There's no real area inside. Well, there's like all this soft moss, and so if you crawled underneath, there's some room in there, so it could be some shelter for little ones. I just don't know. But I'm interested to find this in a different direction with nothing behind it taken out. So the wind couldn't have come through here. I mean, there's no corridor of destruction leading off from here. And then there's this telltale guy I showed you, just seemingly laid on top. And this, broken underneath other stuff. A weather event doesn't put things underneath other things. And this potential blind is within sight of this cabin. So there could be some spying going on.